Good morning, everyone. This is BizChicks TV. This is the place where you can find tips and tools to help you do business better. We're here to help you run a profitable business that's fun to run and to take the hassle out of your hustle. And today, we're here with the Tech Diva Weekly. Every Friday, we come in and we talk about different things that are going on in the world of tech. Now, I'm going to be joined shortly by my friend and partner, Miss Francine Gregory, real estate entrepreneur and tech diva. I'm Carolina from California Cover Ups, and we're the Biz Chicks. We are looking forward to also hearing from Terry Johnson online, all the way from New York City, and from Dr. Tachi, all the way from Florida. So we are here from coast to coast, bringing you information about technology that will help you run a profitable business that's fun to run. But before we really get started, I want to give a shout out to one of our fabulous biz chicks, Miss Lennis Woods Mullins. It's her birthday, and we just want to say, woo, woo, happy birthday. Not only that, it's a special birthday for her. She's turning 65, and we just want to send our best wishes to her today and great vibes because she does vibes for women over 40. So if you're not following Lennis, you need to follow her online. She is everywhere under Vibe, Vibee, women, women over 40. So with that, we want to get started and we want to thank you for tuning in. Yes. I see people coming and going, and so we just want to say hi this morning. We're over here on YouTube, so if you have not subscribed to the Biz Chicks YouTube channel, we encourage you to do so. Also, we thank you for tuning in on our live channels, and we are going to be also talking to you today over in the clubhouse. So hopefully, Dr. Tachi will have that clubhouse going for us and also that as you come in, you'll be able to join in the conversation. We usually start with this day in tech history, but I'm going to lay that aside. Oh, here's Francine now. I'm going to give you a couple of minutes before you get started on that. And because of that, I want to let you know that if you are looking to join the Biz Chicks community, we would love for you to text Biz to 33777 and come on in and fill out your profile. Let us know what it is that you do and how we can support you, because that's what we're about. We're about helping you run a profitable business that's fun to run. Good morning, Robin. How are you this morning? Life Freestyles with B. Campbell is in the house and several others. And we just want to say thank you so much for being a part. We also want you to know that when you become a part of that Biz Chicks community, that every other Thursday we actually do trainings on different techniques to help you run your business better. And those are complimentary. Or you can sign up for the VIP and get a discount on our Saturday trainings, which are a little more technical and a lot more detailed. So we want you to be a part so that we can all grow together. With that, I want to say that we are just so happy to have you in the house. Robin, welcome back from vacation. And I gave a shout out to Linus this morning because it's her birthday. She says, Robin says, doing great. Need Biz Chicks advice on a new printer. I think mine is fried. Okay, just don't get one that fries. We, we will check on you today and see what we can do to help you with that printer situation. Okay. All right, because that's what we do here at Biz Chicks. All right. With that, we're going to get started. Fran, it's so good to have you in the house. I was telling everybody that you are our tech diva and real estate entrepreneur.
Okay. And
Mhm.
then in the clubhouse, we got Dr. Tachi, Tasha, and Chantel. Welcome, ladies.
Welcome, welcome, welcome.
Let me turn up the volume. Okay.
Yes, because I can't quite hear her. Okay.
Okay. How, Dr. Tachi, say something again, please. Make sure I can.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning, beautiful. How you doing?
I'm fantastic. How are you?
All is well. How's the weather in Florida, girl?
Oh, rainy? Yeah, so apparently I didn't even know that that's what I get because, I'm trying to stay away from news, but stupidly I stayed away from weather too. I said, wait, what is happening? Come to find out there's a tropical storm coming, but I really don't think it's going to be that serious, but I did go get water.
Okay. Good deal. Good to know.
It's better to be prepared.
And the tech tip of the day, you can use your phone and do that weather check because I'm with you, not checking into the news.
Mm-hmm.
I think it does.
Yeah, I wasn't checking that either. So I don't know. I hadn't been paying attention to the weather because the weather here is pretty like, okay, tomorrow is hot. So I'm not checking it all the time. So,
Yeah.
Well, stay safe, Dr. Tachi.
Thank you. Yeah, it will be fine. Don't worry.
Okay. All right. You keep us posted now because we're going to be checking on you. Okay. So don't get tired of us because we're going to be checking on you. Okay. So with that, friend, I'm going to turn over this week in tech history to you.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, interesting. Some really interesting little tech things. Dr. Tachi, this one will be interesting to you. First modern color movie, May 28th, 1929. The Warner Brothers film On with the Show, the first talking movie that is all in color, debuts at New York City's Winter Garden Theater. The film uses two-color Technicolor and a Vitaphone sound.
Wow. Okay. 1929, did you say was the first color?
Yeah, May 28th, 1929.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
That is deep.
Right. And then Jif is not peanut butter. May 28th, 1987, CompuServe releases the graphics interchange format, GIF, GIF, whatever it is, them little animated thingies that we use, standard as a new computer graphics file format. Due to color limitations, the GIF format is unsuitable for reproducing color photographs, but it is well suited for more simple images such as graphics or logos with solid areas of colors. This made it probably the most popular graphics format for the early internet until the famous GIF licensing controversy soured many designers to its use. The PNG format was developed in response as an alternative to GIF to get around the licensing issues. Mm-hmm. However, all relevant patents have since expired and the GIF format may now be freely used. Today, it still sees widespread use, especially when simple animations are needed.
And we love those little animations where we're wishing people happy birthday and celebrating stuff and people dancing.
May 29th, 1992, at the Computer Electronics Show, CES, I think that still goes on. Yes. In Chicago, Apple Computer CEO John Sculley first announces the coming release of the Newton Personal Digital Assistants, PDA, to a group of reporters, explaining that the Newton is nothing less than a revolution. Although there was not a fully functioning prototype available, the Newton technology is demonstrated, including how to order a pizza by moving topping icons onto a pie and then faxing the order from the device. It kind of reminds me of, I can show you the device, but it looks like something else, almost like a BlackBerry-ish type looking thing. The Newton is Apple's first major new product line since the Macintosh was released 8 years earlier. The Newton unveiling generates immediate buzz, but due to several factors, Sculley's announcement will be ultimately considered a major mistake. The announcement itself tipped the company's hand to its competitors and wildly inflated consumer expectations. The Newton's release was delayed until August of 1993. That's about a year.
Wow.
A year.
I was wondering why it didn't catch on.
Right. It seemed like it was going to do pretty good, but who knows? And when it was released, it was not as user-friendly as expected.
Mm-hmm.
Specifically, the core handwriting recognition feature was widely criticized as buggy and inaccurate. While the technology was greatly improved in subsequent revisions, the Newton never gained much commercial success, and shortly after his return, Steve Jobs discontinued the Newton in 1998.
Okay. Yeah. For some reason, it just didn't, and I guess that's what it was. User-friendly is important, people.
Yes, it really is.
I think that's really what contributed to Apple's success.
Correct. If it's easy for people to use whatever the tech is, if they make it simple to understand and simple to use for everyday people and not the people in the Geek Squad, it's great.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
May 30th, 1896, the first auto accident on record occurs in New York City when a Durea motor wagon driven by Henry Wells collides with a bicycle ridden by Evelyn Thomas. New Yorkers probably accuse Henry of being from Jersey, but he was actually from Massachusetts. Okay. I guess there was a joke.
You know that's a slur. No, I'm not from Jersey. I'm from Brooklyn.
Yeah.
I was like, seriously? Okay. Apparently, Elvin was okay because it didn't say here that it was a fatal accident.
Right. So I guess he's okay.
Yes. Evelyn, she got hit by she was riding a bike.
Yes. That and you know what's really ironic about that? We had the same issue with Tesla, the self-driving car. It hit a bike, remember? And then everybody was freaked out. Oh, these self-driving cars don't work. But it helps if the pedestrians looking where they're going.
Yes, and that's the thing. I was listening to something when he was doing a TED talk. Well, not a TED talk, TED interview, and they asked him about the self-driving. Why is it taking so long to come out? And we're like, he said, well, you're trying to have a computer respond like a human.
Yes.
To other humans.
Right.
It's going to take a while.
Yep. And we could change our minds in a nanosecond.
Right.
Going left. No, I think I'll go right. No, maybe not.
And so the car technically is a computer. So you're asking the car to respond. Exactly. And in order to make that happen, there's some things that has to happen with the technology, that it has to be able to respond like a kid deciding to jump out off the curb.
Mm-hmm.
Or other humans on the road. I was like, I'm just driving a regular, I'm driving, not self-driving. I'm driving and I'm watching these idiots on the road dashing in and out and stuff. I'm like, no wonder we don't have self-driving yet. Final story, June 3rd, 1983, the science fiction film War Games is released. Notable for bringing the hacking phenomena to the attention of the American public, it ignites a media sensation regarding the hacker subculture. The film's NORAD said is the most expensive ever built at the time at the cost of $1 million. Not widely known is that the movie studio provided the film star Matthew Broderick with the arcade games Galaga and Galaxian so he could get firsthand experience before shooting the film's arcade scenes. That's your week in tech history.
Well, thank you so much. Thank you so much, Fran. Mm-hmm. We love it when we come in here with the history. Hi, TJ. So good to have you in the studio.
Yep. Hello, everybody.
Hey.
TJ, I'm gonna have a couple of things to say this morning. So,
okay.
Oh, go ahead.
Are we strapped in? Cause
Let's have it.
okay. Well, I was going through some articles, and I think I can share my screen. Let me add this to the. And can everybody see that?
Lord and Taylor, isn't that a?
It's a retail store.
Uh-huh.
And I want to show you what Amazon is doing new with retail shopping. Go. I'm playing this little video. It says as many brick and mortar brands shutter stores, Amazon is taking another step into the physical retail space. The e-commerce giant first in-person clothing store, Amazon Style, is now available. There will only be one size and one color on the floor. You will go scan a QR code, choose a color and size, and it will be sent to the fitting room or to the store counter if you just want to check out.
Okay.
I thought this was, Amazon has also tried, this in convenience grocery stores and bookstores. That's how this little video is ended, and where you can skip the checkout. So
Right.
let me stop the screen. I want to say, I thought that was very interesting how they decided they weren't going to have all these sizes, all of this, that, and other. But then if it comes to the dressing room, it must be in the back of the store somewhere. Right?
Right. Oh, it's
mean,
okay, because I can remember when I go and sit down at Macy's or whatever, and I would like a shoe, right?
Yes.
They go to the back room to see if they have the size in the back
right.
room. And
Right.
so this way, I'm really pushing a screen. The clerk is not coming to go look. I'm pushing something on the screen to see if they have it, and then they'll bring it to the fitting room.
Yes. Now, what I'm thinking is if you are hitting the screen, there's something going on in the back of the store. Somebody's either pulling it, putting it on a conveyor belt so it ends up in the dressing room. I'm wondering, how are they making this magic happen?
You know what I'm saying? It's like the restaurant where you put in an order and it says the ticket to the kitchen. You know, the waitress takes your order and it sends a ticket back to the kitchen, and the kitchen starts cooking whatever it is that you're.
Exactly. And I had in my mind all these people just running around pulling stuff. You understand what I'm saying? Either putting it on conveyor belts or in what constitutes a dumb waiter or whatever, and it goes to that specific dressing room.
Oh, gotcha.
Because it goes to your assigned dressing room.
Okay.
So I thought that was interesting. How they're going to make this magic happen.
Yeah, and Jill says there will be robots bringing the product out some point soon.
And you know what? That's going to be very entertaining, don't you think?
Okay.
Yeah.
He sounds so enthused about this.
I like the idea, but I thought it was interesting that there'd only be one of an item on the shelf. Okay, so
you're not perusing through all the different sizes. You see the mock-up item. Okay, it's kind of like shopping online at Amazon.
Exactly.
You only see one picture.
Exactly.
And then you order the size that you want.
Exactly. You can touch it and feel it. And, let's see. We have a comment over here. Yes. Oh, that's Dr. Touch. Oh, Jill, talking about the robots. Yeah, I would enjoy I think having a robot come to me sort of like make me think about Miss Rosie. But anyway, I'm going to share this.
And not the one in iRobot.
Yeah.
In your homes. Okay.
Well, the whole thing is, I guess if you want a no frills experience, that's the way to go. I do think it's interesting and it can work, but they're also, we've spent an awful lot of time these past almost 3 years ordering and inside. So I think when people go to a physical store, sometimes they want that shopping experience. And I think this is a cool experience for people who want to get in and out. But then there's some people who like to peruse, who like to actually see. I guess you can say how many of what size you want, for example. Like if you're like, okay, the medium may fit or the large, let me get sizes. So, and that's cool too. And then it's sent. But then there's sometimes that, it's faster if I just go to this rack and get the medium and large myself, because that requires, I have to type in what I need. So sometimes the tech way is not the least way of effort, if that makes sense. But I think it's phenomenal. I think it could work really well.
Yeah, I agree. The tech way is great for the store because there's not a lot of go backs.
Right.
That too.
You know what I mean? Because you okay, I'm gonna get this and this and this and this and this, and you pack them all on the cart, and okay, now somebody got to go hang all that stuff back up.
Yeah, I'm just wondering, how are they going to get this done? But I'm sure they have a process that's working for them.
Right.
And JoJo says, let's see her. She says definitely a Jetson vibe. And very convenient for the quick shopper. Yeah, but there's just a lot of what ifs, but let's just assume that it works well and that people are happy. I'm wondering if after the pandemic, because so many people have come back to work with a really bad attitude.
They don't want to be there.
They do not want to be there. Oh my gosh. And then they have skeleton crews because people are not coming to work. They're finding other ways to work, and so they're calling off. And when you ask somebody for something, I mean, nowadays it just seems like they just do not want to interact with you.
Well, okay. And there's always two sides to that too. So I can see how the shopping situation would be beneficial on both sides.
Exactly.
Yeah. I mean, to the point of customer service, this is what these companies should have thought about before the pandemic. There was already deplorable treatment sometimes of employees. And I mean, you want to be where you're treated well, where you're paid well, and where you're respected. And sometimes that's not the case, especially in retail. And so, when it goes on all sides, definitely. But of course, people don't want to go back to work. If I've been ill-treated, why the hell would I want to come back and look at you all day? And then I don't like the half of you that work here. Why would I come back? So, and then you've got the new generation. These Gen Z, lower end of millennial, and the younger millennials and Gen Z who are like, oh, no, you're not going to mistreat me. So I'm not coming back. They've come into their own in terms of what is right and what is acceptable in terms of treatment for being a worker. So if I can make money on YouTube, if I can do merch, if I can do all these other things, I have a sense of style and I'm suggesting things to other people through video and I'm making money, why would I come back to you? So this is where I guess robots will come in for them, because if you want to continue to mistreat people, then you have to have until the robots rebel. But that's another
story. Exactly.
So robots rebel.
Okay. The robots rebel. So I have one more story, and this is sort of a human interest story about a coffee shop that hires persons who have mental and physical challenges. So let me see if I can share my screen. Okay. And okay.
Wow, it's a lot of people.
Yeah, can you see that? They're waiting for the coffee shop to open, I presume. Okay, let me open up my mic, and here we go.
Biddy and Bose. Okay, Terry, are you going to talk about this? Okay, you're muted.
Okay, yes. So this is a chain that offers people with mental and physical disabilities.
A lot of times in my life that people don't respect people with learning disabilities, so they think that we're not the same.
I think historically people with disabilities have been segregated, they have been overlooked, marginalized, and it's largely just because they haven't been seen. And so what we're really trying to do here is give people a place to see people with disabilities, doing meaningful work, earning a paycheck, making a difference, saving for their futures. And when guests come in our shop and see that, they can't unsee it.
Okay, I'm going to pause it right here. For those people on Clubhouse, I want you to know we're watching a video of persons with disabilities being trained how to work in a coffee shop. They're doing barista jobs. They're running cash registers. They are serving treats just like you would in some of the more popular coffee shops. And they have opened 14 of these, and they're getting ready to open 16 more across the country. And basically what they're saying is that the persons who have these, what they consider disabilities, because to me, we're all temporarily able, but anyway, with disabilities tend to lag behind in terms of being employable. And so this is one of the groups that we considered underserved when I worked for the state of California, and we tried to develop opportunities for them to be trained and to sustain work in the world of retail or whatever it is that they were trying to pursue. So I'm going to continue the video, but I didn't want the video just playing and those of you in Clubhouse not knowing what they're talking about. And you'll hear some comments from some of the individuals who have been able to work in this environment. So there we go. And now they're showing charts about, the disparity between those with disabilities. And they're showing all the treats that the people are serving up. So it's called Biddy and Bo's Coffee, and they hope to change that.
I finally got a job. And I also like coffee.
They were established in 2016, and I just thought this was an interesting article, and the fact that they have been able to sustain employment in this, really what I would call a specialized industry. Coffee shops, learning how to be a barista is no joke. And being able to, serve customers. And you know what? These folks tend to be friendly.
Right.
Woo, there we go.
God.
That's it.
So
I like the idea, and the coffee shop kind of looked. I was like, oh, you got some pretty nice looking stuff up in there. I need to.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And it appeared high end, or appeared what is not necessarily high end. It appeared like you were gonna get real service.
And the atmosphere was really conducive to relaxing.
Yes.
The colors in there were well thought out. It was a soothing environment, if you will, a relaxing environment. And it made you want to stay. Unlike some coffee shops, which won't even let you plug in anymore, but that's a whole nother story.
Oh my gosh. This is Tech Friday. I'm telling the story. It's Tech Friday. I'm going over, Terry and I needed to go sit down and do something, prepare for something. And we went to a neighborhood coffee shop in a very popular area. The corner is very popular. If I said the name of the corner, the people in Sacramento will know exactly which store we were talking about. We went to go sit, because normally you can sit down and plug in. All the plugs were capped, like with
a cover?
covers. screwed on plate covers.
Screwed on.
Yes, not like you flick it down and plug in.
Right.
No, these were screwed on, and so you were not getting to the. I said, so that sent a definite signal, like you are not welcome here.
Don't hang out here.
Get your stuff and move on. Keep it moving.
Get your stuff and go.
I was like, wow.
I have a question. Did you ask them why?
I don't think we got an opportunity to do that. You know how like sometimes you have a long table down the middle?
Yes.
Okay. I believe there was a long table down the middle for you to plug in.
But all those seats were taken.
Exactly. So the seats around the perimeter were
non-existent. Was incommunicado.
I was like, okay, thank you very much. And you know, it really is. And at first we were thinking, well, because maybe the people who are without homes are coming in, but they don't have things to plug up. So
right, they're not coming in to plug. They're coming to sit or sleep, or they're not coming with devices.
No, and I was like, "Ooh, that's a really interesting message."
Tell me I'm welcome without telling me I'm not welcome.
Exactly. It's sort of like when they started charging you to see the teller at the bank. Wait a minute, I gotta pay $2 to talk to somebody about my money. Okay.
Wow.
I was out. That's when I found a credit union. Okay, so Jill is saying, look, it seems that everything's going in the direction of no touch, no contact in terms of the first situation we were talking about for retail. Right. And then Robin says about the coffee shop. She says, very cool, Terry. Hope they come local. I do too.
Me too.
Yeah, and I want to say about the no touch, they call it contactless. That you're going to see more of that. So if you're not happy with it, you're going to see more because of the pandemic, because of technology, the things, the way things work. Because like Starbucks, if you're going past a Starbucks on your way to work or wherever, and you don't want to stand in line, you pick up the app, put your order in, and by the time you get there, all you gotta do is go in and get it. You don't have to talk to anybody, you don't have to touch anything. So that's where things are going.
Yeah, they put it right on the
it's right on the counter.
You don't pick it up.
You walk in and walk out. So I think you're going to see a lot of that. And I think I read an article a while back, I got to look it up, that the two entrepreneurs that they made because of the pandemic, they made some kind of like a it's not a freezer, but the clear, like when you go to get water or soda and it's clear, they made those for restaurants. I'm not sure where, if it's New York, but you could go, you could order your food, go to the glass thing that's like outside of the building but connected somehow, and you just pick up your order. Your restaurant order.
It's back to the 50s where you used to go to the window and get the pie out the front.
But it's like a case. I saw the picture of
like
it.
The automat.
And it's like the machines when you get snacks and stuff, but there's food in there, and you use your app to open the door, and you open it, get your order, and you go, you go on.
A vending machine that does more than
that's what I was thinking, vending machine, but it's connected to the restaurant so they can put it in.
It reminds me of like a dumb waiter situation.
Like a dumb waiter, yeah. I gotta find that article. So that's where things are going. So
they stick it in the window, they turn it around, and you take it out.
And it's I remember it was all glass, and you could see your food, and then you use an app to open the door.
Okay.
So nobody can, because somebody, especially in New York, like, oh, there's some food. Open the door and get the food. No, I think you open it with the QR code or some kind of code on your phone, and you get your food.
Right. Yes, so the people can't get to your stuff.
Right.
Okay. Jill says, I feel like all the contactless tech is very convenient. So long as it doesn't fail. Yeah. As long as your Wi-Fi is cool or your phone is charged, you probably
Remember, and even look at Walmart and Target and all those people that have you drive up, they put your order in, you don't talk to anybody, you don't, you might say hi, like they put it in the back of your car and you drive off. Those kind of things are going to happen because it's convenient for us humans, because we're like, okay, I got to do this, I got to do that. Amazon Fresh. You just order online. It comes to you don't even, they just put it at your door.
I love it.
All that, I love it. I'm like, ooh, and Amazon Fresh, they have the deals, like, you know, like a supermarket circular with the weekly deals. Amazon has that. So it's very convenient. And if you got the Prime, if you're a Prime member, you're going to be more inclined to do that.
Right.
You got Prime. And if you spend, I think it's $35 here. If you do $35, it's free
delivery. Free delivery, yeah.
But those kind of things you're gonna see them more and more.
I love grocery delivery. I remember the last time I've been in a grocery store.
Yeah, so contactless delivery, everything is, no touch, because of and it's health reasons, really, because think about how we were doing it before, where there was a lot, people that are immunization, not immunization, they're compromised with their systems and health and stuff, and they can't, they get germs from people. So now they don't have to worry about that.
No.
So that's what's going to happen. I like it.
I do too.
That's all I got this morning. I was going to talk about people producing ears by 3D, but we'll do that next week.
No. Bring that up. I saw that story.
Did you see
have
that?
it?
Let's see if I can.
I think I saw it in Apple News somewhere. I saw it yesterday about the ear.
Where they have actually been able to take the woman's cells and through 3D printing, create an ear out of her cells that match her body.
Right.
And then when they put it under the skin, it is actually developing, and she's going to have an ear.
Right. And so what happened to her ear? Because I didn't read the article. I just saw a picture.
She was born with a disability. They were saying that there are a number of people, like 10% of children are born without ears or with deformed ears. And she's one of those.
Oh, okay. Because I saw that article. I was going to go back and read and forgotten. And
you
just brought it up.
So
like, that is cool. So it's her DNA and they 3D printed an ear.
Exactly. They grow the cells and then they use those cells to grow the ear.
Right.
Plant the ear. Yeah.
So what does everybody think about that? I thought it was pretty cool.
I think it's really good. They have been able to create these ears before, but they were part plastic, part cell.
Okay, gotcha.
Whole DNA. This is why it's noteworthy.
Okay. I think Dr. Tachi had something. Does she have something to say?
Yeah.
I think that's really great. We've come such a long way. We have a long way to go, but we've come such a long way. My thing is, like, I know that this is you're saying her own DNA and her own cells to this, but is there do they talk about any fears of rejection?
Oh,
they have evidently been able to pretty much overcome this, because they did mention it, but they said it's not statistically significant in this case. They've been very successful. They've been working on this since before 2016 with digital printers in mice and different,
in the medical field.
Yeah. So, it's been 5 years.
Yeah, for a while. And if you watch Grey's Anatomy, I think a few years ago, like Charlene said, like 5 or 6 years ago, they had some storylines where they were 3D printing some kind of body part or something. So it was like it's been around, this technology, so it's getting more advanced. So
I was this is very interesting.
That was.
But so that's what I have for you guys today. We got
they could 3D print a kidney or something, because how kidneys, you have to have somebody that's like a really good match.
Yeah.
Right.
But if you use your own DNA, maybe it's like a almost perfect match.
Yes, and they haven't gotten there quite yet.
Right.
But
no, it's not there yet.
Yeah, they think that they will be there in about 10 years.
Wow.
That's major, where they'll be able to print organs.
Heart. Think about this, like people that they die waiting on the list for a match, and they just print you a heart. That is cool.
So I found the article. It says woman receives 3D printed ear made from her own cells, And let's see here. Doctors successfully transplanted a 3D printed ear made from human cells onto a woman born with a rare ear deformity.
Oh, okay.
And the name of the company is 3D Biotherapeutics, the regenerative medicine company. I like that term, regenerative medicine company behind the implant, announced today in a press release. The transplant was part of their first clinical trial of the technology, and its success marks a major step forward for tissue engineering. Okay, we're learning some language here.
Yep, biotech, biotech.
Yep, and it talked about the fact that there are about 1,500 babies born in the United States each year with different conditions.
Go ahead, Tasha.
Oh, I'm sorry. Hey, lady.
Hey.
There's a show on Lifetime. Was it Lifetime? No, TLC. If you want to know how that works, they have a show where they have patients come in and needing different body parts.
Mm-hmm.
I watched one where they made a nose for a man.
Yeah.
Did arms for another lady. They made a foot. And she was explaining, everything, how it worked, using their DNA and everything so that, their body, the small chance that their body wouldn't reject the part.
Mm-hmm.
That was really interesting.
That is. Thank you for letting me know. I'm going to check that out.
Thanks, Tasha.
That's up my alley. I'll watch that.
You're welcome. My husband was like, "Why are you watching that?" I said, "Because it's interesting."
It is. I love shows like that.
Yep, they said that the research groups are working on 3D printed lungs and 3D printed blood vessels.
Wow.
So because of this whole heart thing, it's been a major year so far for advancements. But in January, doctors gave the patient a heart transplant. Remember with the pig heart?
Yes.
But the patient actually died a few months later. However, they are getting better at this 3D printing thing. And eventually they say that they'll be able to do complex organs like livers and kidneys. So yeah, this is a big deal.
Wow.
It's a big deal. Wow. Because most people who have heart conditions, it's because of their blood vessels or things collapsing. Just to be able to replace that whole system. Basically, you'd go in, it's like going in and having an engine replaced in your, what do you call it? In your car.
Wow.
That's deep. Well, I'm going to pass the mic to TJ.
Hello.
And let me put you in position here.
Put me in the hot seat. I'm in the hot seat.
What you got for us today, TJ?
Okay, so hello everybody. This week in social media news, we're going to start with Snapchat. And Snapchat has partnered with a restaurant review website called The Infatuation, and they're going to display restaurant recommendations in the Snap Map in selected cities. Now, if you're not familiar with Snapchat, there's different places where you can do content and you have private conversations, but the Snap Map is a section of Snapchat where you look, it's a map of where you are and you get to see your friends' locations if they haven't turned on. So now you'll be able to see the restaurant recommendations from your friends and others. So if you're in the area, you might want to go to, that restaurant and see what kind of food they have. So they're saying that it's a map layer from the Infatuation to give users access to restaurant recommendations for places near them. So users in New York, LA, Chicago, San Francisco, Austin, Seattle, Philadelphia, Miami, Atlanta, Denver, DC, and London. So you can find this layer in the upper right corner of the map and select the Infatuation to start finding restaurants near you. So I didn't take a look at it, but I will later. So once you find a restaurant you like, you share it with your friends via chat or add it to your favorites to save it for later and come back to it when you're ready to go to that restaurant. So this Snapchat says that more than 250 million users use the Snap map each month to see what their friends are up to. So it lets you interact with your friends if they have that option turned on, because you can go in Snapchat and turn that off so people can't track you, because there's that tracking element. So we don't want people to have stalkers from negative stuff. So that was pretty cool. Let's talk about Pinterest. Pinterest has some news coming up. So they've acquired the Yes. It's an AI powered shopping platform for fashion. It's called the Yes. The Yes.
Talk to me about that.
Let's see. I thought. Okay, no. I have some graphics, but not for this one. I was just checking. So Pinterest has announced that it's signed a definitive agreement to acquire the Yes. It's not complete yet. It'll be completed at the end of June, this process. So it's an AI-powered shopping platform for fashion that enables users to shop a personalized feed based on the user's active input on brand, style, and size. What it is it's like a quiz feature where they ask you, do you like the blue dress or the red dress, and you say yes, and then it goes from there to try to find out the things that you like. So the Yes was founded in 2018. It uses quizzes and direct usage input to refine its item listings based on your preferences. So it's like a quiz feature that you go through visually, and they figure out your preferences for fashion. So part of the onboarding process for the Yes involves simple yes or no responses on various brands and product images, which helps to improve its automated matches alongside advanced machine learning based on user activity. So this deal is for Pinterest to have more tools to improve its search tools and direct communications with more brands to build out platform listings in order for get users to buy. So this is all part of the e-commerce, live shopping, online shopping, situation we're at online that is it's just growing. So again, this deal is going to be finalized before the end of June, and we'll see what more comes from that. But that's very interesting. So Pinterest is putting in interactive tools to help it make it easier for you to decide what you want to buy on Pinterest.
Okay.
Okay. Another from Pinterest. Pinterest has been busy. So they have expanded the Creator Fund as part of a celebration of Pride Month, because June is Pride Month. So they have announced that creators in the UK and Brazil will now be eligible to apply for its Creator Fund. So all these social media funds, social media platforms are bringing out creator funds, or a pool of money to where creators create content and they can either be in the running for money, or depending on the views and how well the content does. So Pinterest has joined that. So they're putting more focus on rising LGBTQIA plus creators as part of the broader celebration of Pride Month within the app. So they're saying that this there's a quote. So let me read this quote real quick. To ensure the creativity that comes from LGBTQIA plus creators is not overlooked, the Creator Fund will reduce barriers of entry for them to reach new audiences on Pinterest and give them resources to bring even more creativity to the platform. So they're saying for the first cohort, the UK will focus on fashion and beauty creators, while Brazil will combine creators from the food, beauty, fashion, and decor categories. So they're doing a broader push for this Creator Fund for the month of June, because it's Pride Month. So then we have that. Now let's see what else we have. YouTube. Now for YouTube, I got a graphic. So let me pull that up so we can see, and I'm going to describe it for the Clubhouse gang. Let me see, bring that up. Okay, can we see that? Let me make it like that so you can see a little better. Okay, so now let's explain. So it's a lady, and I think she's doing dog grooming or something with her pet. So YouTube mobile app can now sync to your TV without casting for a second screen experience. So what we're seeing is a large screen TV playing YouTube, And then next to it in the graphic, they have a picture of your phone with the YouTube mobile app. So what happens is if you're watching on the big screen, using the YouTube app, it will say open the mobile app for a second screen experience. Browse and buy the products in this video.
Wow.
You see what's happening here?
Okay, yeah. So you're watching YouTube on your
TV, on your smart screen TV, yes.
And then you can go and buy it using your phone.
Right. And it prompts you. That's what that prompt is. So it's a new feature that allows users to connect their TV to their iOS or Android device in order to sync videos between devices. Makes it easier for users to engage with other YouTube features like comments, the like button, or creator support. Because remember, they have the live stream where you can do different things. So they incorporated all that. So this is to make it easier.
I can see how that works too, because when you are trying, like you want to subscribe to the channel, even though it says subscribe on your TV, there was no way to push a button.
The buttons are odd because I've tried to like while watching YouTube on TV. I've tried to like videos, and then depending on your remote, you got to do all kind of things and move up. And move. It's very frustrating.
Very awkward.
Right. Right. So they're saying that this is it allows users to turn to the mobile app instead to synchronize their phone to the TV. After opening the YouTube app on the TV, they can then open the mobile app on their phone and click connect on the prompt that appears to sync up their viewing.
Right. And that would make it easier on your phone to like, subscribe.
Yes.
Or whatever.
Because it's very difficult to do it with just your smart
remote.
TV.
Right,
with the remote. So they're saying once synchronized with the new feature, user can directly interact with the video, so they can read video descriptions, leave comments, share a video with a friend, or use other features like super chat or channel membership, among other things. So that's what they're saying. So it will pop up. There will be a message popping up saying you may want to open your mobile app for a second screen experience. And you'll also see in the picture here, there's a list of products. So if you're selling products on your YouTube channel, because you can add a store on your YouTube channel once you get in the, I think once you get into the you have to be in the YouTube partner program, which is the 1,000 subscribers and the 4,000 hours watch time. Once you get in there, it's like you get all of these things that can help you sell stuff. And so they have a store tab. And whatever merch you're selling on your YouTube channel, I can watch it on my TV and then pull up my mobile app, the mobile app on my phone, and it's easier to buy, like, comment, super chat, all that, because it's really difficult to do that on the TV. So YouTube knows that. So
because they want us to watch more. Because a lot of people, I think Dr. Tachi is one, and YouTube, you watch YouTube more than you watch anything else, except for when we.
Me too. I do a lot of YouTube.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's like, okay, well, we're watching YouTube after the YouTube, and I'm like, okay, it needed to have a easier way of getting around.
Right, because it's very clunky. Right.
Yeah, and I just think it's because different TVs, it's like, trying to service different phones. So this makes sense.
Yeah, because we talked about at the top of the show, user experience is going, it really helps. If it's ease of use, we will probably use it.
Yes, exactly. Now, I haven't tried it out. I will after this. I don't know. It doesn't say I think it's out already. It doesn't say like when it's out.
It's out because I've seen it on the YouTube when we're watching something on YouTube. It says, want to watch this on or do you want to activate your device or something? I was like,
right. You want to connect to a second device. I believe that's what it says.
Oh, okay.
Second screen.
So that's what they're talking about. Okay.
Yeah. I haven't seen it, but I'm going to look for it now. So this makes me happy because it's very clunky to use the remote for your TV when you're trying to do things, and it's just very frustrating. But this is good.
Yeah, it is.
We like it. All right, so let's go to Twitter. Twitter is shutting down TweetDeck for Mac on July 1st. Now, I'm not happy about this because I love TweetDeck.
Mm-hmm.
TweetDeck is a different experience for if you have you use Twitter on the desktop, and I believe, is it just desktop? I think it's desktop. But you can put as many columns of things that you want, like searches or following specific people, or you have Twitter lists, and it's very organized. A lot of people think it's too much, but for me, I like it. But Twitter, Twitter's trying to go into this monetization thing with Twitter Blue. So there was talk of putting TweetDeck, shutting it down for free, because it's free. All you do is go to tweetdeck.com and you connect with your Twitter, and you can rearrange the things that you want to see. But they want to put it under Twitter Blue, which is, what is it? The $4.99, $2.99 a month thing, whatever. Yeah. So now they're shutting down the tweet because they have a separate app that you can install on the computer. So they're shutting it down for Mac only. So they're saying that they're going to remove it, but you can continue accessing TweetDeck on the web, which is the way I do it. I didn't ever use the app. I always went to the browser.
Okay, so what?
But see, what this is like, it's like little baby steps of them taking TweetDeck away.
Yeah. So, but I got a thing. So, what, TweetDeck for Windows is still available?
Probably, but they're saying it's just Mac. So then next is going to be the Windows separate app. And then when you go to the browser, they're going to be like, oh, you want to use TweetDeck, you got to join Twitter Blue for $2.99 or what. And I'm like, no, I'm going to have to find another solution. Wow. It's like they're taking the rope, like little bit. So they're starting with the Mac app, then they're gonna do the Windows app, and then they're gonna take it away from the browser and stick it under Twitter Blue. Now they haven't said that, but that's what people are speculating. Like people that are talking about this, the tech journalists and stuff like that, they're saying that they're gonna put this on because it's everybody loves that uses it, they love it. So how does Twitter get more subscribers? Tools like that, stick it on the Twitter Blue, which I'm not. I'm just going to have to find another way to do it. So that's what they're doing, Twitter. All right. So second thing from Twitter, they're bringing an algorithmic timeline to communities. Now, let me explain this.
What does that mean?
Remember, communities came out as, if you remember from Google Plus, if anybody remembers from Google Plus, they had like, you could make communities around a topic. Like if you wanted to talk about tech or entrepreneurship or business or fashion or flowers or garden, they had a whole section that you could go in and make posts and talk to each other about it. So Twitter's doing that. But Twitter also has something called topics that you can follow, which is not communities. So now what they're doing with communities is to get more engagement. They're making it to where you can switch from it's like the latest, it's like home and latest. And if you use Twitter a lot in the on your phone, it will show you either the latest tweets, chronological, or home, where it's like things that they think you might want to watch. So they're putting that into communities because a lot of people aren't really using it, if that makes sense.
Okay, TJ, we got a celebrity in the house.
Hey, Zeph. Hey.
And we got another celebrity too.
Oh, where?
Yolanda, she said, forgot about TweetDeck. It made Twitter great.
Isn't it great? I love it. I love TweetDeck. I'm like, they're going to put that thing behind the paywall, and I'm going to be really mad, but I'm going to hold on to it as long as I can and hope somebody does a open source similar app.
And Yolanda said she just pulled it up.
Yeah, it can be overwhelming, but if I use Twitter for information, like research and keeping up with what's going on with tech and business and the news and it can be, it's like a dashboard where you can just put things that you want. Like I follow a certain person that talks about tech, so I put that person's tweet in a column, and then if I want to see trends for the United States, I can make that another column. If I want to see my likes, I can put that in another column. So it's all columns, and you can just spread it out. But It's not for the average Twitter user because there's so much information. But if you use it for research and stuff, it's great.
So it's kind of like what they want us to use lists for. List is like really interesting,
right?
Because it's still not clear. I mean, I could put
so Twitter.
It wasn't clear.
Right. So Twitter. See, the thing is, when you go into Twitter, you just go to twitter.com. You see everything from people that you follow. Everything, and it just. But if you make a list, a Twitter list, you can say, I only want to see the topics about. I have a list for marketing, like people that talk about marketing or they're in marketing. I can go to that list in Twitter and see only their tweets and not everything else, because Twitter has everything. Twitter has fashion, politics, news, business, tech. Everything's there, so it's like a filter. So Twitter list is a filter, and you can set that to where, okay, I want to look at that.
And Zeph said that Hootsuite too, they got expensive.
Yeah.
Yolanda says she misses watching her Twitter lists.
Yeah.
And Zeph said Twitter is a beast.
It is. So see, for example, like Twitter, like this week, what's going on, the Jubilee in UK or something?
Yes.
So if you're interested in that, you could make a Twitter list based off the hashtag and only see those tweets. That's the power of the list. Oh, I hear somebody talk. Go ahead.
Dr. Tachi.
Yeah, I used TweetDeck. It's been a minute, but remember when tweet chats and Twitter chats were really big? Like, have whole groups of people chatting about the same thing, and you would use the hashtag to kind of aggregate everything, and you would ask a question like 1 through 10. That was really, and I used to do a lot of them. And so TweetDeck was a great way to keep track of everything that was happening in the Twitter chat, because I actually ran a couple of them, and to actually just use your phone, and it's like, oh damn, I missed that. But with TweetDeck, you could see everything under the hashtag that was happening. So that's unfortunate.
Yeah.
And just to talk about that tweet chat, I think that was the first rooms before Clubhouse, because we used to go over to go follow a room. I remember what is the coffee to do with the coffee, TJ? Oh man, I see his face.
I remember. I know what you're talking about. I can't think of it.
Anyway, Jonathan Tripp. Was it Jonathan?
Oh, Jonathan, yes. And he had the chat, the Twitter chat every, I forgot when, whatever day it was at a certain time.
Right. And that was kind of like Clubhouse on Twitter.
Yes, it was. It was. Those are the days.
Yeah. And then Zeph said, I used to pay Hootsuite $5 a month for over 5 years, and now the same plan is $79 a month.
What? 79? That's crazy. And Hootsuite is not the greatest social media management tool. There are many others that are better. That's crazy.
But you know what? Here's the thing. It's all of these things are aimed at people who want things to be easier. So it's not always aimed at social media managers that handle things on a day-to-day basis. It's aimed at people who sometimes don't know that there are other ways. So when it started off and it's great, now it's like, oh, people are using it. Let's now charge $17,000 per month. So
exactly.
And Zeph said, I miss Blab. I am.
Blab.
Bless the Lord.
We're not gonna go down the B lane.
No. And Zeph agrees with you, Dr. Tachi.
Well, see, I'll say that if you don't want to pay and you're just concerned with Facebook and Instagram, you could, if there's the Meta Business Suite. Now I've talked about it before, and I know that some people don't like it. I hear chatter in my social media groups. They don't like it. I said it's free. It lets you schedule posts to Facebook and Instagram at the same time. You do one post. You can also do stories in there also, and it's free. And there's an app, the Meta Business Suite. I use them.
Yeah.
I use them for my clients because and it's all the pages are in there. All I have to do is switch the page, and then I'm on that client's page, and I can post and go about my business. Now I got other tools that I could definitely look at as a whole, but I'm like, that's quick and easy for me. But I don't know why people don't like it.
Because especially if
I think it's great. Sorry.
It's great.
No, go ahead, Dr. Tachi.
Go ahead.
I think it's great, yeah, because running things now I do use Buffer as one of my social media posting platforms. But here's the thing, with a lot of these platforms, unless you're at a certain plan, you're not going to be able to upload video to different places. And particularly I found with Buffer, Instagram, it only lets you, unless you pay, which
right.
It only lets you post to the timeline, so you only get the 60 seconds of video. So right. That's when the Meta Business Suite comes in, because I can post to the IG video as opposed to just the timeline. So it's free, like you said, and there's no reason not to use it. You can schedule, you can do things, and even if I post to more than just Facebook and Instagram, but it's two places as opposed to going to each individual platform to post. So
right.
Right.
Right. Yeah, I don't know why people don't like it. I see a lot of that. They don't like it. I'm like, it has scheduling. It gives you an optimal schedule time. Like if you want to know what's the best time to post on your page or Instagram, it will tell you, and then you can schedule it. It has a calendar in there with all those national holidays, like National Donut Day was yesterday. So it's all in there.
Right.
I understand why people don't like, and you could do stories.
Because it's fun not to like Facebook. Yes, but it does work. Now that is one thing they got right.
Yeah, and guess what? When you use Facebook's tool, they like you better.
Right,
that's a third-party tool.
It's easier to do.
Now, I don't have any proof of that. I'm just saying I know how these things work. That they like when you natively post. They like that. But Zeph has another comment.
Yeah, she says virtual events are taking over. Okay. And she says the third party tools convenience equals convenience. Meta Suite is more for return on investment and tracking. It does work though. I mean, because we can post, like you said, for different clients, and it's easy to get to. You can.
Right.
I love just you hit one post and it goes to two different locations.
Right. And I have several pages. I think I have like over 25 pages I have to manage. But I'm not going to put that into the other third-party management tool I have, because I could just easily go there, do the Facebook, Instagram. If I do Twitter, I just go to Twitter, bam, and it's done. So I'm done. I just do the three major for them and maybe one or two other specialty places. But for me, it works. I mean, I have some tools, but I'm like, I don't want to go in and then I got to set up each account for each account. I'm like, I just go to Meta Business Suite. I check on it from, my tablet or my phone and see the analytics. Like Zeph says, there's analytics in there. There's all kinds of things in there, and it's free.
Right.
They don't, we don't like it. I'm like,
and okay, so you don't like the hammer, don't build the house. Okay. Zeph says third-party tools are not Meta algorithm friendly.
Right.
And that's true.
And what I'm waiting for is for them to put Reels into Meta, which they will. We're going to talk about Reels in a minute, but they're going to add, because you can't do Reels in the Meta Business Suite yet. You have to do that from IG
video or something. You can't do Reels.
You can't do Reels from there. But once they do that, baby.
Because I was like, come on, y'all. I've been playing with my Reels and trying to be consistent with them, but I was like, man, I can't. And if you do a Reel and you download it to your phone or something, it takes the audio off.
Right.
I was like, okay, so now I got to redo this whole thing.
Okay, so well, we was talking about Twitter, we got off, but that's okay. But this communities, they're trying to keep the engagement going, which means that nobody's really using this communities, and they're saying that you'll be able to have a algorithm-based timeline, and it will be called the For You feed, while the chronological timeline will be dubbed the latest. And this is in communities.
Which Twitter?
Yes, and Twitter. But if you're not using communities, don't worry. I haven't seen any communities. I don't think I've set up a community.
I haven't set up a community either, and I'm trying to think. Okay, it's okay. So communities is like groups on Twitter. Is that what I'm hearing?
Right. It's like it's groups around a particular topic. But I haven't seen any community. Let me see if I go real quick. If I go to my Twitter, where do you set it up?
Because that would be a good. Yeah.
I forgot where it is. Is it under Twitter for professionals?
No. That's not good.
Okay, that's why nobody's using it.
If we can't even remember where it is, it's like, okay, we're not using it.
I haven't seen any community posts. I haven't seen it.
Exactly.
I don't know. I mean, I think you can invite people. We've talked about it, but I just never paid attention. So I'll just real quick see if I can find it.
Yes, I'm not criticizing. I'm just saying, if we don't know what street they live on, we probably don't visit them much.
Right. I haven't seen anything about it. I just know that when you like the mobile app, when you go on, you can at the top right, there's like 3 stars, and that's where you change from latest tweets to home, which is recommended. And I like latest.
Okay, TJ says members can access communities through the dedicated tab at the bottom of the app for iOS or in the sidebar on twitter.com.
Now I see it. It's like an icon with 2 people, one behind the others.
Okay.
And mine says it's quiet around. It's the glare. It says it's quiet around here for now. Look like your communities don't have any tweets yet. When they do, you'll see them here. So I haven't even investigated this thing. You can create a community. And you can restrict it. So if you're interested in it, Fran just told us where to go. It's a little 2 people at the bottom at the bottom of the app.
Okay.
Well, I don't see it on my iPhone. I just have a Twitter Spaces icon. Now on the iPad, I saw it. So I don't know.
I don't either.
Well, listen, if you're interested in Twitter communities,
and I guess if you have a lot of interaction with people on Twitter now, it might be a good idea.
Right. And the thing is, if you do, in Twitter Space, because remember Twitter Spaces, you can have that and it's all audio. But if you want to do something with posts and things like that, I guess you could have a corresponding community. So you wouldn't do a space all the time. You could put stuff in the community. And just put posts there. So but that's what what's happening with Twitter. So let's move on to TikTok real quick. TikTok is testing a clear mode that removes the buttons when you're scrolling through the video. So this makes it easier for people to share screenshots of their favorite clips, because on the right they have all the like and the share, and there's a lot of buttons on the right, so they want to get rid of that. So they're testing this new feature, allows users to scroll through content on the app without interface elements like usernames, captions, and audio information cluttering the screen, because that's at the bottom. It also tells you like the song that the people are using.
Yes.
So they're testing. Excuse me. They're testing this. They don't know when it's going to be out, but it's in test mode right now. And TikTok has launched its first subscription comedy series. This came out like this morning. I just added this one. TikTok is joining forces with Pear Pop, P-E-A-R-P-O-P, Pear Pop, to launch a comedy docuseries hosted by creator Jericho Minky. It's $5 for all 8 episodes, each episode 30 minutes long. With the first 2 episodes running for free for all TikTok users. Now I looked this up, and you can see it on your phone, but you can't see it on the desktop, because you can look at TikToks on the desktop. So the series is called Finding Jericho, and it features Minky doing comedic interviews with characters like a clown from Craigslist. I guess if you follow him, you know what this is about. So it's not, they won't be short form videos, but there is for making monetizable content in the app. So TikTok says the first episode of Finding Jericho premiered Thursday at 9 p.m. PST, Pacific Standard Time, and following episodes will arrive Tuesday and Thursdays at the same time on the @Jericho1, JERCHO1, and the @Pure Pop Official TikTok account. So if you want to take a look at that and see, but so they're doing subscription comedy, which seems like TikTok is trying to get into media as far as like, you know, being an app that shows TV. Right? That's what it sounds like. Any comment? No? Okay. Get a quick sip. All right, so let's move on to Instagram. Instagram is pushing out will push out Amber Alerts to users' feeds. So they're going to notify them about missing children in the area. So the feature will start rolling out. It actually rolled out yesterday, and it will be live in 25 countries over the next couple of weeks. Instagram users don't expect to see it very often. The alerts are meant to be rare and specific to the search area. So Instagram is going to use factors like IP addresses and location data in order to determine which accounts to push the notices to. So be on the lookout for that. So Amber Alerts in Instagram. And
is that kind of like what happens on the cell phone when you
it goes. I don't know if they're going to do it like that, but they're going to be there. I guess they'll put it in as a special post. And they, like I said, they just said about the IP address and your location. So if there's an Amber Alert in your location, however they set it up now, it'll be like that in Instagram. But I don't think it's going to be like so it's very jarring on the phone. I mean, I know they're trying to get people's attention, but it's like it just goes like the emergency alert that come up for different things that for emergencies. So it's gonna come in your feed. So we'll look out for that. And then they're saying it's going to be rare. They're not gonna bombard us with that. Okay. But if it's relevant, it'll be there. So just keep a lookout for that. All right, so we're moving on to Meta. Meta has added new editing tools to Reels and Instagram and Facebook. So Meta they're going gangbusters with this Reels. So they are giving out several features that have been popular on stories and moving them to Reels. That's poll, emoji, and quiz stickers. They want to boost engagement. So they're also adding a audio import option. So that enables creators to upload their own audio directly within the Reels creation process. Facebook Reels will now support voiceovers for your recording so you can narrate your videos. Meta is also adding a new sound sync option that will enable Reels creators to automatically sync their video clips to the beat of of your music. Whatever music you pick, you can have it sync like that because some people like to have the music and they have photos or video coming in. Meta is also launching templates will let you easily and quickly create your own reel using the same structure as a reel you watch. So you can see if you see a reel you like and you like the setup, you can probably save that as a template and that way you can use it. And also the app is expanding the maximum length of reels to 90 seconds. So now reels are now 90 seconds.
They were 60, right?
Right. They were 60. Now it's 90. So I expect that to go up more because TikTok is all up to 10 minutes. But Reels, Meta is going to follow in TikTok footsteps. So whatever TikTok is doing, Reels is going to do. So they're also going to Meta is also going to prompt Instagram creators to start cross-posting their Reels to Facebook. So look for that. So when you make a reel on Instagram, they're going to push you to, share that to Facebook, just like, you can do a Instagram story and then have that also go to your Facebook stories.
It's right now. It suggests, do you want to
one time or every time
or share it or what is it? Oh, show it.
Right.
I don't think they post it over there, but they ask you to share it. Or so people can see it over there on Facebook.
Okay. So look for that, reels. They're pushing. Remember how they push stories? Now they're pushing reels. So they want you to do them in both Instagram and Facebook. And there's going to be that crossover appeal. And now they're putting all these editing tools. So that should be fun. And the last one from Meta, they added a calls tab to Messenger. So it's a dedicated tab for audio and video calls to the function bar at the bottom of the app. The new tab will appear alongside chat, stories, and people, and open up to a list of the user's contacts along with separate buttons for voice and video calls. So they're trying to make Messenger seem more like the style of the WhatsApp app, which I really don't use. So if anybody uses that, they'll be able to know it. So they're saying prior to this that you had to open up a separate chat thread with a friend in order to call. So that's what they removed. So instead of opening up another window, it'll be at the bottom.
Okay.
And Meta says daily audio and video calling on Messenger has increased by 40% since early 2020. Okay, and that's all I have this week.
Thank you, TJ.
The social media updates.
Okay. Dr. Tachi, what do you got for us?
So much, my friends. So much. I hope everybody is doing well. We are going to talk about some of the things. Well, this was an Ask Me Anything Wednesday on Mediascope, so I only did like 2 stories, and then we took a bunch of questions. But I have some other things to share with you. And first thing is poor Netflix. I talk about Netflix every week because they give me so much to talk about, and for that I'll be forever grateful. Their password sharing crackdown isn't going so well right now, and that's good for you. So it's been a rocky rollout in Peru, according to Tech Radar. So that could mean a delayed rollout of surcharges for this globally, because remember when we talked about this before, they are rolling out the crackdown on password sharing, and if they determine that you are sharing passwords, more than just with the household, then you would get there's an opportunity for a surcharge. Well, they unveiled this pilot program in Chile, Costa Rica, and Peru with an additional fee, which is around $2.99 per month, €250, and $4 Australian dollars for sharing account passwords with anyone outside of the bill-paying household. So it's still confined to South American countries, but Netflix has been very vocal about the plan to expand password sharing surcharges worldwide in the short to mid-term. They need this money, right? So, but a recent report from rest of world suggests that this experiment, at least in Peru, is not going well. It's not running smoothly. Test subjects are crying foul over the way the surcharges have been announced, policed, and implemented. So the publication surveyed more than a dozen affected subscribers, and the majority of those involved in the trial have been left confused by Netflix's definition of household and frustrated by a lack of clarity over whether they qualify for the additional fee. Now, this is where the stupidity of not understanding cultural competency comes in. When you look at Central America, South America, these are very collectivist communities. So their concept of what constitutes family or a household may be very different from the westernized concept of just you and the bill payer in the house. It's completely different. Did Netflix do a good enough job of, you're in different markets, but you understand the culture? And culturally, that's something you need to understand. I'm not saying that's an issue here, but I'm saying as a person who has studied culture, that could be part of the problem. It's a loose definition for us in the West, not to talk of countries that are very collective in their thinking and mindset, where family and household can go beyond the borders of the 4 walls. If that makes sense.
Yes, it does.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. So there are cases where subscribers have been charged for sharing passwords with individuals outside of the bill-paying household, and some say that they were never formally informed by Netflix of the policy change, despite the trial commencing more than 2 months ago. So the test also seems to be a very case-by-case basis thing. So, for example, some subscribers are claiming that they did not receive account verification prompts, or sorry, that they did receive them, but they ignored them without penalty. And then others say password sharing fees have taken effect as expected. So it looks to be case by case. So Netflix said the following statement to both TechCrunch and The Verge in response to the confusion. While we started working on paid sharing over 18 months ago, we have been clear for 5 years that a Netflix account is for people who live together in a single household. The millions of members who are actively sharing an account in these countries have been notified by email, but given the importance of this change, we are ramping up in product notifications more slowly. We're pleased with the response to date. So, yeah, they're going to need to clarify some confusion, even though they said we've been saying this for 5 years or whatever. Again, there are cultural things that you have to think of. And in the wake of this, Netflix may not want to be so stringent with some things. I'm just saying, I understand you are, I wouldn't say hemorrhaging money, but you're not making out as expected. But you've already raised prices.
Yes.
You've already cut staff.
Mm-hmm.
You've already cut spending on original programming. I don't know that it's wise now to roll out. I mean, all of this signals that you're in trouble when you keep doing things like this. So I would not have rolled this out now because I don't know that is really a significant. Analysts are saying they can recoup what is it? I can't remember. Was it $2 billion or something like that? But that's not a significant chunk of your revenue. So it's like looking in the couch for quarters at this point. That's what they're doing.
Okay. We got a comment from a Facebook user that says, not only that, many people live in one state and take care of households in another state, and they travel for work or etc. Right. Because if I'm traveling somewhere, I'm going to take my Netflix with me.
I'm gonna open up my app, and so are my grandkids or my daughter. We're gonna open the app.
Okay.
Absolutely.
I'm not at home in the building, people.
I don't know how you regulate that.
Right. It's a subscription.
They don't either. That's why there's a problem.
And Jill has a question. She says, don't they pay comedy specials out?
Mm-hmm.
Netflix?
Uh-huh.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, they do.
There was a comment from somebody in Clubhouse. I think I heard.
Yeah, that I don't understand that either because, like your lady stated, when we travel and we go places, we take our apps with us.
Yes.
Are they going to penalize us for taking the app with us and viewing it in a different place?
Well, I don't think that is what they're aiming at. So they're saying outside of the app, outside of the bill-paying household. So if you are on a business trip or whatever and you're taking it with you, you're not getting penalized for watching your Netflix in a hotel someplace in Dubai. That's not what they're doing. They're really specifically looking at people who have not been identified as part of a quote unquote household that reside in the bill paying household. They are saying that if somebody else in a different household, it doesn't matter if they're relatives or whatever, are using it, that you will be charged a surcharge for that. Go ahead.
I just don't know how they plan to do that. It seems like a more practical approach would be you get so many profiles.
And that's what it is right now. You get five, I believe, 5 profiles
and
that you can have. But what's happening is, Dr. Tati, and make sure I'm saying, if I'm not saying this right, correct me. People may have used the 5 profiles, but they're giving people their password to get in from somewhere else.
Which, why the hell should you care? You gave me 5 profiles, and this is what I choose to do with it.
Right. And see, and let me bring up real quick with the Spotify, with the paid plan, I think you get like 8. I'm not sure the number, but you can share. It's like you share accounts with I think up to 8 email addresses, and it's like they have their own Spotify account, but you pay that one fee. So why can't Netflix do that?
Right, and that's how YouTube TV does.
Because they need money.
Oh,
I don't think they thought this through, because I don't know how they're gonna regulate on this.
They don't either. I'm convinced that they are not sure. That again, they're just looking for change in the couch.
Right.
They're grasping at straws. They're trying to get back afloat. You know, and I don't think this is the way to do it. The way to not to do it is not to annoy customers, especially when you have now stopped spending more money on original programming. You have a bunch of things that are popular that are getting ready to end. For example, Stranger Things. This is the last season. So I don't know what else you actually have on there that is going to be long running that will draw people in. And you, again, remember last week I reported that Disney is encroaching on their territory. You're number one now. You will probably be number one for the next few years. But if you're not careful, in the next 2 years, you won't be anymore. Even though analysts say they probably have until 2026 before anybody really touches them. But that means that you have to be working tirelessly to make sure that that is the case. I don't think like Carolina said that they thought this through.
Yeah.
I don't think the way to do it is by passing more on to the customers when you've already raised prices.
Right.
The fact that you didn't think about this before is not my problem. So figure it out. I'm paying you every month.
And we have a comment from Jill. She says perhaps multi-IP addresses within the same city, yet different physical locations at night, watching at the same time is a sure sign of login sharing. I'm sure they all have a AI look at it all.
Absolutely. That is definitely different IP addresses.
Right.
Logged in different places at the same time. But here's the thing: that doesn't mean that you're not in the same household. That's you know what I'm saying?
Yes.
So,
right.
Are you going to have to register every time? So if cousin Juan and Jose come to stay with you, and they're staying with you for school, do I now have to tell you Juan and Jose are here, so add them to the household? No, I'm not doing that every time I'm letting you know my movement. So there are lots of problems with all of this.
Yes.
Including privacy. But we'll see what happens.
And I'm so ready to cut them loose anyway. Don't give me an extra step to sign in, because I'm done. I'm out.
See,
Netflix had enough. Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say you're right. Netflix's problem is content.
Yeah, they don't have.
It's simple. It's content. They gotta do something about that. But then they let, who was that? Was it Marty Scorsese that they let him go crazy with some movie? It was like all his money or something. They were talking about it on Twitter this week, and I'm like, come on, they gotta figure it out.
And you know what? And I'll move on after this.
Okay.
If he has anything to say, but which is fine, because this is a decent sized story. I think that the death of, I shouldn't even say the death, but the downfall, even slightly, of any of these platforms, not just you, Netflix, but any of these platforms, is continuing to operate under a Hollywood model to your detriment.
Right.
I mean, this is what I mean. You just mentioned Scorsese. Yeah, he's a genius. Yeah, he is, when it comes to film, he is one of the greats, definitely. But it's like the whole same thing with, Ready Player One with Spielberg.
Yeah.
Did it make that much money? No. But the thing is, they keep leaning on these legacy filmmakers, these legacy actors, and they think they can do no wrong. And although Netflix is a little better with giving chances to people that traditionally have not gotten a chance, they still operate under a Hollywood model. There's no, but they're paying those people a whole lot less. There's no way in anybody's heaven they should have allowed Scorsese to take the money and do whatever they like with it if they're being smart about it. But they're like, oh yeah, Scorsese. So he's never had a bomb? Yes. So, you know, if you keep operating with that same Hollywood mindset of the insiders, the legacy people can do no wrong, you're going to figure out one day when they do wrong that you've wasted money that you couldn't spend on some fresh new content. I digress.
And so here's the thing too. They were a curator of content when they started. They had content from everybody. So you could come to Netflix and get your Disney stuff. You can get your AMC stuff. You can get your wherever
international shows.
Yes, it was all there. Then Disney said, "Nope, we're gonna bring our stuff back to our house," and everybody took their stuff and went back to their own homes. And now we have to do Disney Plus or whatever. And so Netflix is left with their own original content, which sometimes is not all that great.
Right. They've had some hits. Let's be fair.
Right, they have.
What is that? What's that show? Bird Bat, Bird Brain, Bird whatever.
Oh, Bird with Sandra Bullock. Was that it?
Sandra Bullock, yeah.
I didn't. Yeah.
Oh yeah, the one.
Something.
Something about where she had blindfolds on or something.
Yeah.
Yes, the Birds, whatever the hell it was called, and then
Squid Game.
Yes.
Very well. You have original series like On My Block, which just ended. You have Stranger Things, which is getting ready to end. So you've had some. You've had the Anna Delvey thing.
Queen's Gambit
by Shonda Rhimes.
Oh, okay.
You got a lot of Shonda
Bridgerton,
and you have Shonda Rhimes.
Right.
So they've had some wins, but I think they have a lot to figure out to be a next gen streamer.
Right.
Okay. Right. They really gonna have to do some work.
Yeah.
Okay,
the platform is there, but they need to work on it.
Right.
Like Heidi said, in a few years, it'll be like Netflix Who, like Blockbuster Who.
And they don't want to do a blockbuster move. Jill says until they come out with something awesome, and then we all sign up for Netflix again. And it's true. They're gonna definitely need to have something awesome.
Okay. And it goes in cycles. This is not even just Netflix. This is also any streamer that has if you look at most streamers, they don't have a string of hits. They've got a library of stuff associated with their platform, if they're a network, etc., and a few original programs that are made specifically for them or that are exclusively on the platform. But you can count on your hand how many those are, and they tend to be pretty big hits. But that's why they do stupid things like, oh, we're going to make a season A and a season B. So season A will have 6 episodes. Then we'll come back 5 months later for season B to keep you on the hook and beholden to this platform because they don't have anything else.
Right.
It's a trick. They don't have anything else. And it's not like it's cheap to produce programming. But yeah, this whole thing, I've got some predictions, but this whole thing is going to be very interesting. But I am so intrigued by the streaming wars. It's fascinating, and it's going to be interesting to see who comes out on top.
Yeah, I agree.
Speaking of streaming, let's talk a little bit about Pluto. They are planning to launch a 60-minute streaming channel. So you know the popular Sunday evening show from CBS, which has been on for donkey years. They're creating the time machine of sorts. And so it's going to be a 60-minute channel on Pluto. So it is ad supported. Of course, you know it's ad supported because Pluto is ad supported. And like CBS News, is part of Paramount Global. So they're expecting to launch. Sorry, go ahead.
I thought that was the case because I was watching Pluto yesterday because I like my Mystery Theater 3000. And I was like, why am I seeing all of this CBS News, and all of this stuff was from Paramount? I'm like, oh, that's why.
That's exactly why. They're expected to launch sometime this year, according to Bill Owens, who is the executive producer of 60 Minutes. He says this: the channel will allow us to share our broadcast and historic archive with the wider world. Nicole Young, who is a longtime producer with 60 Minutes, and correspondent Scott Pelley are going to oversee the new venture. It will let consumers sample decades of 60 Minutes reports, whether they encompass a Mike Wallace investigation, an Ed Bradley interview with Bob Dylan, or Leslie Stahl's various exchanges with former President Cheeto Satan. Anyway, so this move shows that 60 Minutes is continuing to explore opportunities to reach a new set of viewers through digital. So they actually did launch a program for Quibi before it failed, and then they tried to make that program work on Paramount Plus. So now it's moving to Pluto. So if you are interested, it's going to launch, as I said, later this year, and you'll be able to watch historic archives of 60 Minutes and some new content as well. Interesting for those of you that are 60 Minutes fans.
I just thought the whole Pluto thing was genius. I mean, there's so many channels on that. On that,
I love Pluto.
I was like, oh my gosh.
There's a ton.
Is on there. You know, Terry, you like Mysteries, Midsummer, the whole series, all of the British stuff is all over there. And I'm like,
they got a big variety of things to watch.
I might need to cut BritBox and Acorn and move over to Pluto, because
I've used up all of their content.
Right. So it's really interesting. Pluto has got a whole lot.
Okay, I'll check out the library.
They have a whole Doctor Who channel. You had me at Doctor Who.
Right.
So and they've also got this really cool after school cartoons thing. And I love cartoons, adore them. So that keeps me right. I mean,
I love animated.
Love it. So that's what's happening on the Pluto front. Let's talk about CNN. Speaking of television, CNN is planning to stop overusing breaking news because the banner is losing its meaning. I could have told you that.
Yep.
So in a company-wide memo that was issued by the incoming chief, Chris Light, CNN employees were told to cut back on using the breaking news banner because there are complaints from inside and outside of the organization saying that it's become lost on the audience. So this was first reported by the New York Times, and Light emphasized the role of the news channel as truth tellers in the age of endless sensationalism, and they want to go back to their roots of informing, not alarming their viewers. So according to Axios, this is coming as new management wants to prioritize dialing back on partisan angles to focus on traditional journalism. Thank you. And so to achieve this, Bureau Chief Sam Feist has been tasked with recreating the guidelines around the news of breaking news in the company's style book. So this is how he summed this up, that it has to remain vital, relevant, and respected. And maybe the way to re-engage viewers is to stop overhyping everything that appears on the screen. Now, if this isn't the best piece of sensible news I have heard all year, let me tell you the thing with breaking news. It is law, and I'm sure you all agree. When if something is like this just in or breaking news, it loses meaning when it's everything. I think I told you all the story before, where apparently in Miami there was not anything else going on. So the breaking news was that a horse had fallen in a ditch. And they said breaking news. I said, are you kidding me? A horse fell in a ditch and this is breaking news? It must be a slow news day.
Wow.
It was actually not.
I have to agree with you on that.
Right? It was up here in Broward, so it was like, going, almost Miami. It was like Davie. and Davy had, was known for their rodeo and stuff like that.
Okay.
And so it's like on the border of Miami and whatever. So it was like breaking news. I was like, there's nothing else going on, that this was breaking news. So when you do rubbish like that, that makes breaking news lose meaning. And the thing is, they do that. It's all a ratings game, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I applaud CNN for recognizing that they need to stop alarming viewers. They need to stop with sensationalism and making everything breaking news and important. So stop overusing it. I agree. Thoughts?
Hey, I agree with that. Because you'd be like, okay, whatever. And you keep moving because it's the boy who cried wolf. The girl, teenager, whoever, somebody keep crying wolf. I'm like, okay, fine.
You get desensitized.
Stop pumping fear, people.
Absolutely. I have just a few more stories that are of interest. So hopefully hang in there with me, folks.
Yeah.
Let's talk more about Paramount Plus. Coming back to that. So they have a June release date for a new show. So here's basically the tagline. What if a hip-hop legend helped turn your house from bad to bougie? So Hip Hop My House is going to be hosted by rapper Cameron, and it gets a June release date for Paramount Plus. So it's a home makeover series, again, called Hip Hop My House, will premiere this month, June 21st. And it is MTV Entertainment Studios, of course, and Anide Productions. They're going to produce, and Cameron, the rapper Cameron, is going to be the host. So what they're going to do is revamp fans' residences with creative inspiration coming from a host of musical stars, including Ray Stromerd, Tyga, Nelly, 24K Golden, Erica Banks, a boogie with the hoodie, and Polo G. And I think I know two of those people, and that's it. So you're going to have your home overhauled, and lucky super fans will also have the rare opportunity to meet up with Cameron and any of the celebrity artists featured on an episode.
This will make Gen Z happy.
Oh, super happy.
Okay,
super happy.
But this is on MTV, the television platform?
It's going to be on our Paramount Plus.
Oh, okay.
TV Studios producing it.
Yeah, the Paramount Plus. Okay, but it's not the streaming? Is it their app? Because I'm like, how do people even watch MTV?
I don't know.
Question.
No, but it's streaming on Paramount Plus. I don't know that it's streaming.
Oh, it's on the app. Yeah, but I don't see Gen Z with a Paramount Plus app.
Well, that's why they're doing it, because they want Gen Z to download the app.
Exactly. Over there. Okay.
It's CBS, so they have they skew real old, like Dr. Tanya said about 60 Minutes. So
they are Price is Right old, okay? So
Methuselah old. Sorry.
Mm-hmm.
I like CBS. I like Paramount Plus, but they want Gen Z to watch.
Okay. But are they?
We'll see.
I don't know.
Nobody wants to watch it in Gen Z. There's nothing there for them. All the programming skews very much older. And then, okay, for Paramount Plus and all their archives, okay, like I said, let's watch The Price is Right from 1972. Interested in that kind of stuff. And there's nothing there that would draw them. So what they're doing is drawing them with this kind of content. So Terry is exactly right.
Right.
So this is what the voiceover in the promo says. It's the first ever hip hop home makeover show. But can these dope designs be a hit? Did you really say dope?
Dope?
Yeah.
They didn't even have Gen Z write the copy. How you gonna track Gen Z if you don't? Right. If you don't use Gen Z to write the copy.
Gen X is dope. Gen Z and Gen Y.
They don't. That's not how they talk. You need Gen Z to write the copy.
This is stupid. So you are trusting, and there I wish I could show you. There's a picture, and it doesn't look half bad, of one of the things they've revamped or made over. It looks actually kind of safe. I was thinking of like a Yo MTV Raps set, but no, it looks actually kind of safe. So, yeah, you could take a look at that if you are interested. I am not, but if you are, feel free to take a look at that because it premieres on Paramount Plus Tuesday, June 21st. And you could check out the trailer on YouTube. All right, so just go ahead.
I'm thinking they'd be better off just running it on their YouTube channel.
Okay.
I know.
I pulled it up if you want to look at it real quick, Touch. If you got a second, I could pull it up on the screen for everybody.
Let's take a look.
I'm interested in what the makeovers look like.
Okay, I got the dark on. Let me take it back to white. Okay, so there, new Yo MTV Raps is coming to Paramount Plus, right? Is that it or is that different? That's the one, right?
That's the one.
That's it.
On TV Raps.
Wait a minute, no. That's not it.
That ain't
it.
1988.
Raps. It's called Hip Hop My House.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, never mind. We'll find it later. I thought that was it. I just did a search.
That's interesting too.
Right.
That's interesting too. This is another thing. Although again, Yo MTV Raps is from our generation. That was us when Yo MTV Raps. So they're trying to bring a new generation, but do people even really say yo like that anymore? Unless they're saying, come on, yo, like just kind of a thing, but they don't say it like. Never mind. What do I know?
Hi.
There's a
anyway.
language.
So 2 last stories. This is interesting. This is looking at the media technology end of it, and they are saying, this is according to Tech Radar, that smartphones will kill off the DSLR within 3 years, according to Sony, as phone cameras are set to get even better. So smartphone cameras and DSLRs, and I'm sure if you all don't know what DSLRs are, they are the digital cameras that can mimic what a cinema camera does. Most people are using them now for a lot of YouTube production, etc. But, you know, DSLRs can be heavy, and they are heavy because they've got a mirror inside to capture and invert that image. So they tend to be a little heavy and clunky and can't go in places that a smartphone would go. And they've actually been moving in opposite directions for the past few years in terms of image quality and phone. So before it's like, if you're doing production, it's like, don't use your phone. Use a real camera like a DSLR. But Sony is predicting that phones will finally overtake their single lens reflex rivals by 2024. So in just 2 short years, I don't want to say DSLRs will be obsolete, never by the professionals, but you know, we'll see. So Nikkei, as reported by Nikkei Japan, the president and CEO of Sony Semiconductor Solutions, Terushi Shimizu, told a business briefing that, quote, we expect that still images from smartphones will exceed the image quality of single lens reflex cameras within the next few years. And we can already see that, you know, you can, photos that come from smartphones, especially these new ones, look really good. Even video looks really good. You can still kind of tell, but it's getting there. So Sony says still images are expected to exceed interchangeable lens cameras image quality sometime during that year of 2024. Wow. So, I think this is interesting. This says a lot for this. So similar advances are coming for video too, as I just mentioned, according to Sony's presentation. Higher readout speeds of next-gen sensors, which is what captures the image, supporting 8K video, multi-frame processing, including high dynamic range, and a general realization of AI processing for videos are coming to video. So in other words, video techniques like Apple's cinematic mode, you're going to see happening more regularly. So that is big news, in the world, because we're all using, people that want professional video are really using mirrorless and DSLRs, in addition to cinema cameras and pro camcorder camcorders, etc., for the great images. But if cell phones are able to do this, or mobile is able to do this, it is a real game changer for for everybody, for creators. So interesting.
I think so, especially if I can create a movie using my phone. I just saw some things where you can get into tighter places for some shots that the big, the big studio cameras can't get the shot because it's so big, or you taking a truck up the mountain trying to get the shot when you can grab it from what is it, a $1,500 phone? It should.
Right. Yeah.
Absolutely. If you're paying that much, which is almost the cost of some DSLR mirrorless cameras, you damn well better be able to fly. You should turn into a drone for that amount. So I think this is all really interesting. It is a game changer. I have to say this, I don't think it will ever overtake, because people doing professional productions, I don't think they're all going to just forgo their cameras and lenses, because it's also about the lens. Remember,
right.
Camera body is one thing, but the glass, the lens is what really gives that beautiful image.
Right.
And, to sit there and kit up you can, but it's like, so it's just easy. It's easier to get into tighter spaces, but the downloading process is easier from a traditional camera, popping out the card and putting it in a card reader, as opposed to how you have to get things off of your phone.
Right.
So it's just easier now to use a camera, but it's a good option for tight spaces that you can't get in. Matching up the quality is another thing. That's why it needs to get better and better, so that you can match up the quality from different levels of cameras. So interesting.
Yep.
I have one last story, and then I'll let us vamoose. So I think this is a very interesting pop culture story, something I would have put on my today. What the hell is this? So there are people in. Okay, so listen. I think I talked about it here, but last year there was a story that there was a restaurant, a sushi restaurant in Taiwan, that had a promotion that if you changed your name to salmon, that you would get an all-you-can-eat buffet for a full table of people. Okay, just not for life, just a full table of people. So some people couldn't pass that up, and there were floods to change their name to salmon. In fact, 331 people in Taiwan changed their name to some iteration of the form salmon, which in Chinese, I believe, is hui yu. I think that's how you say it. So hui yu, I think. So in response to this outrageous promotional deal, they did this. Now, they were warned, don't, be sensible with this. Once they got wind of it, they were warned by, Taiwanese officials, please be sensible, and also think of all of our officials that are already swamped that would have to then process the name changes. Well, people didn't care. They still did it anyway. So here's the kicker. Taiwanese law permits 3 name changes per person. Okay? So, and this, even though it only lasted 2 days and you get 3 name changes, they got names like Salmon Dream, Dancing Salmon, and Handsome Salmon in. But here's what happened. There were some people who didn't know that their parents had changed their name twice before. So this third time was the last time, and they couldn't change it back.
Wow.
Oh, that's hilarious. That is hilarious.
Oh, wow.
So here this, now they have, instead of being, now they have an identity hangover, basically. So what they did is the Taiwanese government, like I said previously, warned them, but they are deliberating right now on making the parliament, Taiwanese parliament, on making an exception for the people who did this to get rid of those names, that get their human identities back. So the government and opposition parties are going to debate over whether it's necessary to process the name changes, with some members proposing more stringent measures like an administration fee and charges and cooling off period in case something like this emerges in the future. So I just thought that was very interesting. I wanted to share that with you all.
So hold on. So these people went to the registrar, changed their name legally so they can eat all they want.
Yes, because they're like, I will just change it back afterwards. Not some of them not knowing that their parents had changed their name twice before. Then stuck with salmon.
And I think they should be stuck with salmon. You made that decision based on some food, a plate of food.
Especially when I warned you before you did it. This is the thing that always gets me. Warning, Will Robinson.
They did. They said this. They said, basically, let me take it to vernacular. They said, look, we done told you.
Okay.
We done said that if you change your name, you may not be able to change it. We done told you. So if you fill out this form.
For some food.
For sushi.
Not even.
I understand times are rough. I understand sushi is delicious.
But sushi is not a whole lot of food, and it's not. I'm sorry. We're going to have some more kind of something else on the plates.
Now, this is interesting because this is not the first time a promotion like this has been done. So Kevin and I actually talked about this yesterday on Pop Unfiltered, and we talked about the fact that there was somebody in one of his rooms that had tattooed a taco on their ankle because there was a promotion at a restaurant that if you tattooed a taco on your ankle, that you would get free tacos for a lifetime. And it's been 10 years, and to this day, this woman still gets free tacos every time she shows her ankle tattoo. Not that I am in favor of that, but it would at least have to be a lifetime.
Exactly.
For me to consider changing my name.
To salmon?
Yes, not that I would, but at least let it be more than just for a table of your friends one time. That's too much.
That was like that wasn't even thought through.
It was by the restaurant because they sold lots of sushi that day, I'm sure.
300 and how many people? 341 people changed their names. Okay.
331.
And they're still in the news. So that was a good publicity stunt.
And they're still salmon. Some of them are still salmon because they had they 3 strikes. That was their third.
Oh wow! You got to write your name, Salmon. And people looking at you crazy, like, how your name Salmon? Okay. George, you just don't want to know.
Well, that was good, Dr. Tachi.
Yes. Thank you.
Well, thank you, Dr. Tachi.
Indeed.
So next Monday is our first Monday event. So if you want to showcase your business, talk about what it is that you do, your services or anything, we're going to give you a platform to do that. On first Monday, you can join us here at BizChicks.live from the Facebook or the YouTube channel. Or if you want to take a seat, we can make that arrangement as well. Make sure that we have you in the system on bizchicks.net or text biz to 33777. So, because we're going to send a text message out. We got a special guest coming in, Cheryl Ferguson, who is a publishing coach, will be with us talking about that and talking about some other things. You know, all these books that we've been saying we're going to write, and we just we're going to talk about it on first Monday. So it'll be at 8 a.m. right here on June. Right, regular show time. What is that? June the...
Hold on. 6th.
Okay, 6 or something?
Hold on, I'm going to check it out.
I think it's June 6th. I'm looking at it.
6th. June 6th.
June 6th, yes. So please come join us. We've got some great people in this community. We want to showcase what it is that you do. We'll give you a couple of minutes to talk about what it is that you do and how people can connect with you. All right, yeah. Terry?
We just want to thank everybody for tuning in today. We want to remind you that it's okay to be successful in your business and to go to the front of your own line. Have a great day, and we'll see you soon. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.